I can't begin to tell you how much you mean to me. My world would end if ever we were through. I can't begin to tell you how happy I would be if I could speak my mind like others do. I make such pretty speeches whenever we're apart, but when you're near, the words I choose refuse to leave my heart. So take the sweetest phrases the world has ever known and make believe I've said 'em all to you.
They made a statue of us and they put it on a mountaintop. Now tourists come and stare at us, blow bubbles with their gum, take photographs of fun, have fun.
Congratulations, Mr. Keller!
We'll miss you so much here at school.
One piece of advice we can offer you for a retirement is don't spend all your money in one day.
We loved all of your stories, especially your stories from your previous school.
Thank you so much for all you've done.
I remember your nightmare about getting elected to the United States Senate without even running, so I'm going to bring it as close to reality and write you in for governor this November.
Let's go.
Okay.
Bye, Mr. Keller.
Thank you.
I came to St. Peter's High School in 1985 as a sophomore year transfer. I don't think Mr. Keller was the only history teacher I had, but he's the only one I remember. I wasn't a good student. I got mostly C's and D's, with enough F's to mandate summer school following my junior and senior years. In Mr. Keller's class, though, a strange, exciting phenomenon took place. The material engaged me. I engaged the material. And Mr. Keller was the matchmaker. One day, while handing out the graded results of a notoriously difficult midterm exam, Mr. Keller announced that 3 students had achieved perfect scores. He said each of the names, and mine was one of them. I tried my best to maintain my disaffected teen facade, but it was no use. Pride beamed through the gaping cracks. I got my first ever A in Mr. Keller's class, and I received several more from him after that. Unfortunately, my other teachers were far less successful in their attempts to engage me. I graduated 67th in a class of 69 students and did not go on to college, despite receiving 2 warily worded acceptance letters. Without a degree, I rode my computer skills and the tech boom of the 90s to a respectable career in information technology. When the dot-com bubble burst, though, tech jobs became scarcer, and my lack of a college degree became an impediment. And so it was that I found myself, as a new father at age 33, seeking to complete my higher education. I knew I didn't necessarily need a tech degree. With my work experience, any 4-year degree would get me past the resume screeners. I needed to focus my night school studies on a subject in which I knew I'd do well. That's when I recalled the day of my perfect midterm exam in Mr. Keller's history class. I packed my course registrations with as much history as I could. A few years later, I graduated magna from Villanova University. My career had since made an unlikely migration from IT to media and communications, But a funny thing had happened while I was getting my degree. I discovered that I genuinely loved history, and I didn't want to stop studying it. So I kept going. A few years later, as I approached my 40th birthday, Villanova awarded me their prize for the best graduate history paper of the year. I was inducted into the National History Honor Society, and I earned my master's degree in history. I still love history for its own sake, but it has also become one of my pole stars for understanding people, for understanding my place in the vast sweep of time, and for preparing my 2 daughters to enter the world they will inherit. Sometimes my daughter will say to me that history is boring. You need a better teacher, I tell her, and I'm thinking about Mr. Keller. I wouldn't imagine that Mr. Keller even remembers me, much less knows that he had a long-term impact on my life. But he does now. Thanks, Mr. Keller.
Well, Pete, it's been a heck of a ride. We've gone through a lot together since we both started here about 14 years ago. We've shared a lot of lunch duties. We've worked a few hundred football and basketball games together. We've gone over the names on the backs of those Spartan Spirit t-shirts to make sure that they were in compliance. We've shared war stories. We've just done a lot together in the past 14 years, and I want you to know how much I really appreciate being your colleague and, more importantly, being your friend. You've been able to touch the lives of thousands of students, and you've also touched the lives of those that you work with. And for that, we're all appreciative of having known you and being around you. So as you roll into retirement, I wish you and your family the best. On behalf of my family, including my 2 grandchildren who you've taught, and they've had the honor of being in your class, we wish you nothing but the best. Stay well, God bless, and enjoy.
Pete, congratulations on an extraordinary career. You set the standard in the classroom as an administrator and as a coach. I also want to thank you for taking a chance on a young, inexperienced coach in 1982 at St. Peter's High School. It's one of the greatest coaching experiences that I've ever had, and I have a lot of great memories from St. Peter's, and one of my prized possessions is the game football from when we defeated Highland Park in 1983. I believe it was the first time St. Peter's defeated Highland Park in about 30 years. I want to thank you for everything. Thank you for your support and all that you did to help me. Enjoy your retirement.
Hi, Pete. Congratulations on your retirement. Thank you for 53 years of service to education. All of your students, especially the ones here at Immaculata, are blessed to have been taught by you. Spartan Spirit Church won't be the same without you next year. I will miss you, but I hope you enjoy every minute of your retirement. God bless you and your family.
Talib here from Block 9, last period, best class ever, best teacher ever, the funniest class ever, and the most laughable class that I have ever experienced in my entire life. Your class always filled me with laughs every time that I stepped inside and gave me the giggles, from Matt being able to draw, to our nose brigades, to me laughing all the time. Thank you for giving me such an awesome year.
Mr. Keller, congratulations on your retirement, and I really wish you the best, especially for making our junior year a very fun one, as it was very important, especially with your stories and good humor. I don't really have much advice to give you, but what I can say is that waking up late in the afternoon and not expecting to have a test or a class that same day is very relaxing and something to look forward to. Again, congratulations on your retirement.
Hey, Coach Keller. It's Jack Lepp here, your old catcher from SPHS back in the 70s. Congratulations for all your accomplishment over 54 years. Truly amazing for all you did for all your students and players. We appreciate everything that you did for me on the baseball diamond and more. Good luck in retirement and God bless. Thank you.
Coach Keller, on behalf of myself, Carol from the St. Peter's class of 1978, and my daughter Christine from the Immaculata class of 2009, we want to wish you the very best in your retirement. 54 years of teaching Catholic high school is a tremendous, tremendous accomplishment, not to mention all the time that you spent here at your second home on the field at Bugalo Park, teaching so many of us how to play baseball. But more importantly, the life lessons that you taught so many of us. Some of us who it took a longer time to penetrate and to resonate with, but the life lessons of being a good teammate and taking personal responsibility. I want to thank you personally on behalf of myself, and I'm sure many, many of my teammates and the folks that you coached through the years for teaching us those important lessons.
Hi, Mr. Keller. Thank you for being a great teacher the year I had you. I hope you really enjoy your retirement and you live life to the fullest.
Hey Mr. Keller, I just want to say thank you so much for everything you've done. I've learned so much in this past year, and I'm so glad I got to have you as a teacher this year. It was so fun being in the classroom and listening to all the amazing and interesting stories you've told us. I'll never forget them. Congratulations, and I hope retirement treats you well.
Hi, my name is Sean Boyles from the class of 1975. Pete Keller was both my baseball coach for junior varsity and also my history teacher. Regarding the baseball, I was the worst player on the team. Thank you, Coach Keller. You're the greatest.
Hi, Pete. I wanted to say before you retire how important it was for you to be with us in the social studies department. I think and I believe that it's the best message that we ever sent out, right, to get you to come here and teach for the number of years that you did. You gave our department a great deal of credibility and expertise over the years. You were one of the best teachers I ever did see. I wish you all the good luck and happiness in the world to you, Marie, your children, and your grandchildren. Best wishes from the Servidios and from the Social Studies Department. All right? Enjoy your retirement years. Thanks.
Congratulations, Pete, on your retirement. I just wanted to say a quick hello and to let you know that I really have fond memories of all of the stories that you would tell from your year's experience, and I'm really gonna miss that. I'm gonna miss being able to, bounce things off of you, and I'm gonna miss all the times that we hung out during field day in the shade down by the convent, having some laughs. But anyways, I wish you and your family all the best. God bless, Pete.
Hi, Mr. Keller. It's Kathy Dussault, St. Peter's class of 2004. I wanted to congratulate you on an incredible teaching career. I don't know if you know this, but I've been a history teacher for 12 years now in the middle school. And I want to thank you because I think the most important thing that you taught me as a teacher was that history is not just about facts and dates and figures from a textbook. History is the story of us as human beings. And whether you were telling us a story about your life or from the past, that is something that I've really brought into my teaching, and I think it's something really, really, truly special. Enjoy retirement. Thank you for being a wonderful teacher.
Congratulations, Pete, on an amazing career dedicated to youth through Catholic education, all in the Diocese of Metuchen. I have only known you for a few years, but it takes just a very short window to learn what an incredible man of true, genuine character you are. You exude passion for U.S. history and no doubt have made many proud to be an American. We are blessed to have such an amazing role model been a part of our community. Thank you for choosing to spend 13 of your 50-plus professional years at Immaculata High School.
Mr. Keller, Pete, I'm so glad that Rachel and John put this project together so that all of the people who you've impacted over your 54 years of teaching would have an opportunity to wish you well as you enter retirement. I consider myself one of the lucky ones because I not only benefited from being your student, but I had the opportunity to work with you for a few years as your assistant at the St. Peter's High School summer program in the early and mid-2000s. It would be impossible for me to fully explain to you the impact that you've had on my life and career in this brief video. But the lessons you taught us and you taught me were transcendent of history. They went beyond important people and significant events. They taught us civility. They taught us that reasonable people could disagree and still be friends and colleagues in the end. You taught us critical thinking and how to be active members in society. And because of that, you made the world a better place. As a psychologist and a professor, if I have an impact on half of the individuals that you have benefited over the years, I consider myself a successful and lucky man. And I wish you nothing but health and happiness with Marie and the whole family as you enter retirement. God bless.
They'll name a city after us, and later say it's all our fault. Then they'll give us a talking to, then they'll give us a talking to, 'cause they've got years of experience living in a den of thieves, rummaging for answers.
Hey, Uncle Pete, we wanted to send you a big congratulations on your retirement. We're so excited and we wish we could be there, and we can't wait to see you this summer. Congratulations.
Congratulations.
We love you.
I said it's contagious. It's contagious.
Hello, Pete, and congratulations on your long teaching career. The happiest day of my life was June 16th, 48 years ago, this June. The happiest day, I think, of our lives together was the day, July 12th, the first day we saw our beautiful daughter, Rachel Marie Pearson Keller Bohanda. And then 2 years later, in 1980, after a lousy pregnancy, our family was complete with the birth of our son, John Peter Keller Jr. Lots of love as we begin a new phase of our lives at a home we always loved. Have a great retirement. Bye.
Benjamin Franklin said, "Tell me and I forget. Teach me and I remember. Involve me and I learn." Our parents are our first teachers. My brother and I are fortunate to have two teachers as parents. My father took us to the public library almost every Saturday growing up. I became a school librarian. I struggled in school. I remember my father visually stepping back and forth down the hallway so that I could understand math better. My father was a dedicated teacher and would take his class on long field trips to Gettysburg. I was there, and I have an undergraduate degree in American Studies. In high school, many teachers and fellow classmates would use the word nepotism all the time, thinking I had an advantage. My father never treated me any differently than any other student in his history class. But to this day, he was my favorite teacher. And so much so, I took my first and only honors class to have him for a second year in a row. After moving far from home, I am so excited to be closer to my dad, to spend more time with him and his grandchildren, and see the next chapter of his life on the lake.
When my father was home, he was always a committed and loving father. When he was at school, he was always a committed and loving teacher. He was focused on his school community and was always in response to those who needed him. That was how I experienced him as a teacher. Now, as a father, Dad has always had a way of dropping little emotional nuggets to us during big moments in our lives, and he always seems to have the kind of emotional intelligence to tell you the things you need to hear at the exact moment you need to hear them. On my first day of college, as he and my mom were leaving my newly set up dorm room, he turned to me. He probably recognized how incredibly terrified I was, and he said, very simply, "You worked very hard for this, and you deserve this. I love you, and don't screw it up." Also, shortly before graduating from college, He turned to me one night and he said that he wished his father was still alive to see the man that I've become. Well, Dad, here is that same sentiment and advice in return. Mr. Keller, Dad, you worked very hard for this. And we know if Grandpa was here now, he would be incredibly proud of the man you've always been. Your family loves you very much, and you deserve this.